folks, today I'd like to walk you through Padlet. Padlet is a free tool, although there is a paid version that allows you to have more boards. First, I'm going to log in with my Gmail account. You can log in with your Microsoft 360 account as well, or create an external account. Once I'm logged in here, then I'll be able to start to make and form my Padlets. So I'm going to hit this plus button right here, and when in Padlet, you have several choices. You can create the traditional wall. You can create a canvas, which allows any of the users who have editing rights to move tiles around, which might be nice for sorting or if you're debating a controversial issue. You've got a stream, which is a very straightforward, every time a person puts a post, it'll just continue down in one by one. Grid, this allows students to, when they post, it will auto-organize for them. The shelf, which is one of my personal favorites. The shelf allows an instructor to post several different questions and have students respond to questions underneath in very specific and organized columns. Or the back channel. Back channel is great for asynchronous chats as well as live chats in class. I often use back channel when I'm showing a TED Talk or a short video and I want students to be responding. So these are all the different options for Padlet. But let's start with my personal favorite, the shelf. Once you start here, you've got this right-hand column where you can rename the shelf. You can name this your course name, a title of the topic. I like to put a question there, but since I'm using the shelf, I'm going to be building my questions out in a different location. I titled this particular Padlet my course name, and then I gave in the description some directions. Please take a moment to introduce yourself. So I'm going to use this Padlet as a way to start a course or get to know my students right towards the beginning of the semester. You can add fun icons, so if you like emojis or you have a symbol that works for your course, you can do that. Here you can copy the link to the clipboard. So this is the URL that you will post and share with students, but we're going to check our share settings in just a minute. Again, you can customize the look of the Padlet. You can change the contrast if that helps you as well. Change your font. And then here are the posting rules. If you want students to have to log in, you're going to click this attribution mode. I often leave this unchecked, but it can be helpful. You can also give the option for students to comment. So if you want to collect information, then I would leave this off. If you want students to interact and engage with each other, you can turn it on. Students can also react, so likes, votes, if you're doing a debate or trying to get feedback on something, stars, those things can be fun and useful for you and for your students. You can require approval for posts. If you're concerned about content, I would turn that on, but if not, I generally leave it off. And then this filter for profanity, it really does work. I never turn it on with college students. Then I'm going to hit next, and then I'll be able to start posting. Now, since I am in shelf mode, I do need to create the different columns. As you can see, I've started to add columns. I can keep adding columns, and this is a great way to get students to participate in a very visual way, answer some questions, and it's very customizable for the teacher. When students go to start answering, then they will post under each of these questions or as I've instructed, and they can not only write, they can take pictures, they can search the web, they can insert links, they can upload documents. There's so much that they can do. I love using the draw tool. Sometimes students can get very creative with drawing or with filming, so you can include video as well. Video can take up a lot of memory and can make the Padlet run a little slower. So if you're going to do video, hold out till next week when we talk a little bit more about some video creation tools. One more thing that I want to talk about is our share settings. Over here, this allows us to change the privacy levels on your Padlet. When I go to change privacy, I want to make sure it's on secret. Secret is essentially unlisted, meaning anyone with the link can view, but anyone without the link won't be able to find the Padlet. I also want to make sure that my visitors, or my students in this case, can write. So I'm going to double check to make sure those settings are on. Then I can copy this link and post that in my Blackboard or in my LMS. I can get a QR code and post it in the classroom, or I can share it in a lot of different ways. What's also nice is when you're done with the Padlet, you can save it as a PDF, or you can download the responses in an Excel spreadsheet so that you can save this information. That way, when you get to know your students, it's a great way to save this particular resource. Back here on my Padlet, I can see all of the Padlets that I've made and created. I can see things that I've archived, and I can go back in and I can reuse Padlets that have been previously made. Now, if you're using the free version, you only get 5 Padlets for free. So once you've created a Padlet, you might want to consider saving it as a PDF and then clearing it out so that you can use it again and again. There are so many great and creative ways that you can use Padlet, and I'm excited to hear more about how you might use it in your classroom.